guys to do me a favor and get a little bit closer. One step forward, one step forward, keep going. There we go, okay.
State College has been a really helpful place in like, it kind of like let us try out performing and kind of like build our skills. I decided that I wanted to like perform more and like do my own music, and to do that I needed to get better at guitar. I walked into Webster's and saw a flyer for guitar lessons, and it was Zach's flyer. And so we did our first lesson together, and it was supposed to be, I think it was like supposed to be a 30-minute trial lesson.
And we ended up doing 2 hours just because we hit it off.
But back in like start of 2020, I would say around March is when Bobby came to visit Penn State for the first time. So, but around that time, I guess like I was writing a few songs. We've always jammed together, but we never kind of like sat down and said, hey, let's write some songs. Over time, we eventually came back here, and that's when I met Dylan, and we said, drummers are a rare commodity, maybe you can help us out here, because neither of us can really do any of that stuff. So that's when we started performing, which was like a couple months ago. So we're going about 4 months now, playing State College.
Like I said, I think it was 2009. I was working in a duo with another female vocalist, and she was leaving town. And so I wasn't sure what I wanted to do next. You know, we're out playing some other bands and stuff already, wasn't sure. So Natasha came to the house, we went down to the music room where the piano was, and I think within 20, 30 seconds of her singing the first song we did, I said, oh yeah, we can do this. Yeah, sure can. I had you in mind for a while. We had another bass player, but it had Robert in mind for a while, and I saw him walking down the street in Bellefonte where I live. I was coming out of a restaurant, he's coming down the street and said, hey,
wanna play bass?
Would you be interested? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he's been with us ever since too.
So I first started playing music in high school after watching School of Rock. So that's like was still one of my favorite movies. But there was some of my buddies in my high school had a band, and they didn't have a bass player. And I was like, how can you have a band without a bass player? And like I didn't even know what bass was before I saw School of Rock. So I was like acting like I was like snobby after seeing the movie. So I said, I'll learn how to play bass. So I learned how to play bass and started playing with them. But that was like how I got started. And then the band OK Otter, so it was me, my brother-in-law Eric on guitar, my sister on guitar, my dad on drums, and our family friend on Squeezebox. And then we all, this is like really complicated because we have like OK Otter, the original band, is pretty much just me. We have OK Otter, the main full cover band is based out of Philly. They're the ones, we'll be playing Thon this year. We played the last 2 years at Thon. And then there's me, like our OK Otter acoustic act is actually me playing around State College with my buddy Joe Tambasco, who also plays with LoJack.
I think it's really cool to be in like a college town and be like a young band, because you automatically get like thousands of young people who are going to listen to you, and those people are open to your music genres. Those people are open to kind of just listening to whatever and seeing if they like it or not.
State College has like a unique quality, which is like, you know, the combination of a few like different generations of people. So there's like a very like wide range of music that people are open to listening to.
I really like playing Cafe 210 West. Like it's fun to do house shows and everything, but those are kind of like, they can get kind of sketchy at times. So Cafe 210 West, you're on stage, they have a sound guy, they got a PA system, you kind of get to feel like a professional when you're there.
We've had some really wonderful shows at Cafe. Cafe
Yes.
was kind of the first place to
That we ever played as a band.
to bring us on, and so it's always like nice going back and playing there. We did this. There was this Juneteenth event at MLK Plaza, and that was probably my favorite show experience here. It felt so like beautiful and powerful, and the audience was incredible. It was for a good cause.
So McClanahan's playing in like a supermarket. You think it's kind of funny, but at the front of McClanahan's, they have that bar area, and I love it in there. It's like kind of rowdy, but it's not like sloppy. You know what I mean? It's not like we also don't play that late. So I enjoy that. It's like a good vibe. It's loud. Like we also play at some other places where we have to be quieter and McClanahan's, I don't know. It's just cool. It's a good vibe, and we're allowed to be loud even though there's people shopping for groceries and stuff.
We tend to play at places where, people sit down and maybe have dinner and drinks and stuff. Like Pine Grove Hall is one of our favorite venues. Chumley's is great to play. Zeno's occasionally. We're also 5 people, and I think after COVID, a lot of venues are still recovering financially, so they prefer, book duos or trios. And we can downsize too.
Yeah, what you find if you get outside of downtown, there are a lot of sort of restaurants, breweries, cideries, distilleries that are out there where people go, of all, legal drinking ages. So there's a lot of music there.
Well, it'd be impossible not to mention the Arts Fest. That's always great. What is closest to my heart, maybe, is the Women's Voices Festival that's been happening for 2 years, and then the pandemic happened, and it's happening again this year, March 26th, as a benefit for the State Theater, and it has, I think we have 9 different bands this time from the area, some newcomers. They're all led by a female vocalist.
It feels like a really intimate thing. Like you're just really, like you're putting your emotion into it and you're like really feeling it. And it's like something, you would be playing and expressing maybe like by yourself or like with your band members or something, but you're really having that intimate experience with a lot of people, and it becomes a shared experience that's like really genuine.
It's kind of an inexplicable kind of feeling, but like when you're playing with a group of people and you're playing, loudly, and like the crowd is into it, it's just kind of a magical thing that happens, and it's the best feeling that I've ever had.
We just like to see our friends, like having a good time, and I guess it's kind of like a fun thing for them too, because they've like known us for a couple of years now. It's definitely just like a fun experience, because it just kind of builds on itself, and we can just go out and do. It's kind of just always been a dream of ours to just play and have people listen to us. So that's a blessing within itself.
And then the other thing over the years, as we've gotten to play together more, is now we really understand each other well. It feels like a very cohesive group now, where we're not trying to figure out everybody's style and how it all fits together. So now it's nice because we can learn new tunes, incorporate them relatively quickly. We can improvise on the spot in performances. I love that kind of connection with other musicians.
So my favorite thing is when we do like a new song that just works really well for the band. It's great, like just figuring out like very like easy songs to strum along and sing, things that are in my range that have good energy, and it just seemed to kind of fit our vibe, and people react well to it. That's always my favorite, like a new good cover, kind of picking those out. So that's I think it'd be cool to be part of like the conversation, just when people are saying like what's a cool band to see, and if we were like in that conversation, that'd be awesome. Like there are a lot of really good bands around town, so I think just to get into the conversation would be like a goal, to kind of be part of it.
As we're going into this next phase, like leaning into more of the artistry, into more of the original music side of things, there aren't as many opportunities here. It's definitely like a cover, like college cover scene. And with that, it has like immense pros and also, some cons. And so
There are places to play original music, it's just more limited.
I would also say I would hope for more diversity too in the music scene. As someone who, I guess I was just kind of looking around and realizing I was one of the only women of color, playing an instrument or fronting a band or being in the scene in any way. And so that would be my hope for it.
On the original side, I have the album coming out, which I'm pretty excited about. Just like 13 new songs. It's called Dad Rock 2. And we have So we have a website, okotterband.com, and all our gigs are up on that page. So
I think it's safe to say that people can expect a single coming out pretty soon and an EP to follow that up. Not sure on the exact date, but it's definitely in store.
And we also have our own Instagram page, Mellow Honey Band, and that's where we do announce all of our upcoming events and just releases and stuff.
We just put out our first single. It's called Love Me While You Can on Spotify and everywhere else. Check it out. That'd be great. And then we're also currently working on our first EP, which is going to come out hopefully mid-April.
I mean, again, the Speakeasy gig at the end of February 24th, and the Women's Voices Festival, March 26th. It's a really, really amazing show. And Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras at Chumley's.
To anyone watching, like if you're thinking about like joining a musical project or like being in a band or like doing an open mic, like do it. Like it's such an enriching experience. And State College is a good place to start something like that.
As far as like local musicians, you know, don't be afraid to try. The only thing you can really do is fail, and then you can just try again. And like, we're really happy that we did try.
State College is a really big, small town. Everybody knows everybody. Went to high school with this person, or so just being around people and talking to people, and
Yeah, people are very open to collaborate at State College, and that open-mindedness is like critical towards the development of like any group. So that's something we really appreciate.
it's a very supportive community here, and we're really lucky to be a part of it.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.